And away we go. It is the BCJ Podcast brought to you by the Holy Grail right here on BearcatJournal.com. 1 week from tomorrow, opening day. Join, 100,000 of your closest friends down at the banks. Stop by and see our good friends at the Holy Grail. They've got everything you need. Great food, full bar, ice cold Cincy Light on tap. Remember, 50 cents from every Cincy Light purchase goes back to the athletes at the University of Cincinnati. So support those that not only support us, but support those that support the Bearcats. Nobody does it quite like the Holy Grail. All right, David, here we go. A lot has happened since we talked a week ago.
Yeah.
How are you? First off, how you doing?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. How are you?
A little bit of a cold trying to trickle in. I guess that's what happens when it's 40 and then it's 20 and then it's 70 and then it's 40 and then it's 20 and then it's 70.
Yeah, that'll usually do it.
Nothing major yet, just a little stuffy, a little congestion, but we're working our way through it. So 1 week ago tonight, we sat here after the Bearcats had choked away an 8-point lead in the final 2 minutes and 9 seconds. We had lots of thoughts on what we felt was next in the Cincinnati program. Since then, Wes Miller hasn't officially, there's been no announcement from Cincinnati, but Cincinnati is moving on from Wes Miller. In terms of the separation agreement, we'll get into it. I mean, I think it's something that would, especially hearing Wes's name starting to pop up with jobs, it would behoove both to get this thing taken care of. But your initial thoughts as it happened, Dave, as things went down on Friday, where you've been mentally kind of throughout the week now that the Cincinnati basketball job is open.
Yeah, after the way that the game against UCF transpired, I think it's hard pressed to say anybody was surprised that decision seems to have been made. Like you said, nothing official from the university, but enough people are talking about it, have talked about it, that we know what the deal is. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. I want to win basketball games. I want to win football games. I'm not really one to care too much about the details of the coach, as long as they're not just like an actual terrible human being, then I kind of just look at wins and losses. And Wes did just enough to keep you asking, why can't we get a little bit more?
Yeah.
I know you guys talked about it a lot, whether it was after the season, Monday. Like, I think Wes was a pretty darn good defensive coach. Like, I will absolutely give him that. Outside of that, I think he missed in a lot of areas, whether it's offensive, just basic offensive structure, performance, things of that nature. And then just a lot of especially over the last couple of years, a lot of the same issues popping up. Inability to finish games, inability to kind of understand your roster. It felt like, especially this year, but even last year, playing too many guys too late into the season, to where then it became too late when he realized that I'm probably best just playing 7 or 8 the majority of the games. Now, there's details in there that differ because of who's available, who's not at times, but the main point remained. And and I know it is an easy thing to use the last couple minutes of the UCF game to kind of paint it with a broader brush of a microcosm of the Wes Miller era, but it really was just, whether it was the not using timeouts, the not having Keyshawn Tillery play who knows how many minutes in the second half, the point guards looking like they're first-year players instead of third-year players. Like, all of those things are just, I think he did one thing pretty darn good. A couple things pretty darn good. I think he identified talent pretty well. I think he coached defense pretty well to really good. But other than that, I would just say average, mediocre. And, I think that's why we got the results that we got, and the outcome became what the outcome became.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could go back through, they put a lot on Dan 2 years ago. Didn't work out. Like, put a lot on Jizzle coming into this year, and for multiple reasons, like that kind of got derailed and eventually got back on track. But by the time it got back on track, a lot of the damage was already, he came back with 3 games left in non-conference play. And by then they had a steep uphill climb at that point to get back in. I mean, there were some injury things that were unfortunate, but that's college sports, man.
Just sports in general. Like,
yeah,
sometimes, like, you have two opposite ends of the spectrum. The football program, part of it is really just luck. Like, we're lucky that this guy didn't get hurt, or we're lucky that this guy got hurt but is an incredibly quick healer. The football program has had great injury luck. The basketball program has not. But that's sports. You're getting paid millions of dollars. The players are getting paid millions of dollars. Same guys, key players were hurt. I'm sorry, but that could be a reason that the outcomes aren't what you want. But it's not a reason to say, okay, we're going to do this again. I just think you got to the point, and we talked about it, whether it was selling the fan base, and I know I've probably bemoaned on it, was just you got to build your roster with 8 figures roughly 2 years in a row, 2 totally different ways, and neither one worked.
2 years ago was nowhere close to $10 million.
Okay, but then you even upped it even more. You were like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, the problem 2 years ago was you built to that roster for 2 years.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out. Like, that was the problem with not this season, but the past season was you had the year before, the first year in the Big 12 was get our feet wet, get our bearings, learn the league, bring back the majority of the roster. And last year was definitely a bigger swing and miss than this year, because you didn't have that one surge to the finish line like they did this year. But yeah, you had 5 cracks at it. And unfortunately, it is a performance-based business, and you didn't get the job done. And it sucks, because I think had he figured out how to turn the corner, however you want to look at that, like, I think he was the type of guy you wanted fronting your program if they could have figured it out. But they didn't. And because they didn't, it was time for something else.
Yeah, you had 2 real chances. Like, I'm not really counting the 2 years in the AAC and even maybe the first year in the Big 12, because, like we've said, he had no idea they were going to be in the Big 12 when he got hired.
Right.
But you had 2 real cracks at it. You got more, whatever you want to call payroll this year. How could you possibly, and you built it 2 different ways. How could you possibly go another year? What other way were you going to build a roster? And if you went another year, he wasn't going to take less payroll. You
Right.
weren't going to go, we'll give you another year, but now you're back down to your allowance that you had in 24-25. Like, if I'm the coach, I'd be like, well, that's setting me up for failure.
Right.
So, but the administration can't go, oh yeah, we'll give you X more now for your 6th year. Like, that's just practically lighting money on fire and just praying that it works.
Well, that's college sports now, though. That's what teams are doing. We're, instead of firing our coach and paying buyouts, we're going to bring him back.
Yeah, I can't wait to do the running tally of the worked versus didn't work columns for the programs that are doing stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. It's out there a lot.
Yeah.
Josh said felt like year 4 really cost him his job. Could excuse this year if the year 4 didn't go sideways. Sure, but like either one, make the tournament. Like as we're seeing,
I think this year was worse because last year I just never thought they were actually that good. This year they played really well, and then it makes you go, how could you play really well and lose some of the games that you lost?
I mean, they had essentially the same roster they had the year before, 2 years ago, and they got worse. They lost John Newman, essentially, and Vic, and they got worse. Like that, I
didn't think they were that good the year before that anyway. So,
I mean, they went 7-11 in the Big 12, and then 7-13 in the Big 12, and then 9-9. Like, regardless, like 2 years ago, to Josh's point, 2 years ago was, again, we got our feet wet in the Big 12. We played a lot of close games. Like that was the big thing 2 years ago for me is the first year in the Big 12. Like everything felt like nip and tuck down to the wire.
Last year was like, how are you losing games by 20? That
Yeah, like
I think that exposed last year definitely exposed some coaching issues because you were allowed to run it back essentially, and none of the player like I said, it's not even the. And I have an issue overall with what I felt was a lack of overall individual skill development on the majority of the players. But you ran it back, and the players that you couched for that this is the best way for us to move forward. I mean, I don't remember, and you can tell me which ones did and which ones didn't. But like, who actually got better? From the first year, from the first year in the Big 12 to the second year in the Big 12. So yes, I agree wholeheartedly. There is when you let someone do it that way, and we're not going to turn the roster over. I have supreme confidence in this group. And then
we lost a bunch of close games. We're bringing back the entire core. We're ready to take a step. Like year 2 is going to be the year, and then. I mean, there were guys. I don't think it was a matter of guys got worse as much as guys were just the same.
No,
they
it's not that they got worse; they just were the same.
Yeah.
And then other teams got better, so then other teams got better, so your close losses in 23 became bigger losses in 24 because other teams improved while you just pretty much stayed the same.
Flat, yeah, like that. And then I'll tell you, like. In terms of like players don't get better, like I saw pretty much everybody on the roster get better this year. Like the guys that were playing, like Jizzle made significant improvements, especially as a shooter. Day was pretty much Day, throughout his career.
He was a streaky shooter. He could have a good couple weeks and then he could disappear for a couple weeks.
Chom had the best, got better significantly as the season went on. Baba had the best year of his career.
I thought Tillery got way better.
Tillery got better as the year went on.
That's still kind of like, I know we've talked about it, but his lack of minutes in that UCF game in the second half is something that I bet Wes will look back on and go, I don't know what I was doing there.
I mean, a lot of it is...
He was not an offensive nothing towards the end of the year, so it's not like you're just playing 4-on-5 offense with him out there.
Yeah.
And when things start going sideways, I just don't know. I mean, brain fart, brain lock, whatever you want to call it. Like, call timeout and put the kid in.
It's believing in your two third-year guys, and they failed you. And that, like, he believed in Dan. Dan failed him.
I mean, that's the
thing. And they failed him.
We can talk about roster construction, but I think even a bigger thing was managing the roster. I mean, we've talked about the need for a pure two, like, scoring guard, but like the roster construction is one thing, but managing the roster and who you put your faith behind was also a big miss 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
You know, you're big. I don't know if I should say big, but in the portal era, like, the first guys that commit are usually the ones you go after the hardest, right? I mean, the first guys he got were Kerr and Harris. Those were the guys that he identified as, like, these are the guys that we've got to get to take the next step. And for whatever reason, I mean, was a miss.
And I heard Kerr might have even been north of $1 million, like closer to $1.5 million.
Chum, I'm not going to say they lucked into it, but, like, that wasn't on our radar right when the portal opened. Baba, you know, definitely wasn't. Things happened for a reason there. I don't know if we need to get into that or not, but, like, that to me is concerning. It's like last year you put a lot of stock in Dan. This year you put a lot of stock in the guards, and your two big, like, your initial big targets by the last month of the year, I mean, were unplayable, essentially.
Graybush, was Kerr injured? Why wouldn't you have a sniper on the court? I mean, Day shot over 40%. Jizzle shot over 40%. Celestine shot like 58% over the back half of the season. That's kind of why Kerr got pushed out. The guys that were playing shot it at a very high level. So, I mean, like, you weren't missing shooting. That wasn't what went south in the TCU game or the UCF game.
When Wes finally, like, shrunk the bench a bit, like, you can't play everybody. And who was he going to play over?
Right. Speaking of Corey Evans, I heard they're retaining him. I mean, do you subscribe to Bearcat Journal?
That's also probably up to whoever the head coach is going to be. But
yeah, I mean,
we'll see.
And the thing with, like, I mentioned this when Corey got hired, his contract was more with the university than it was with the basketball program.
Right. But if the coach has someone very specific they want to work with, he's not, you know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean,
right. We'll see. I'm just saying, like, the coach isn't going to be, like, if John Cunningham went off of his top choice because that guy wanted a different GM, I would have some concerns.
Yeah, but also, like, we're at a point still in college basketball where the GM isn't. It's not like a pro sports GM.
No, I'm not saying that it is. I just,
I don't think a coach is going to be like, I'm not taking the job because I don't like the GM. And again, like, if that's what's going to break it down, like, you figure it out.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
One way or the other. Last play, Graybush, they had the ball in the hands of Jalen Celestine, who shot 58% from three.
I mean, they had
wide open with 3 seconds left.
It wasn't a great situation. He's kind of shooting almost like, wasn't awesome the way they got him the ball.
There was 3 seconds on the clock. He was wide open at the 3-point line. Like, Kerr on the floor doesn't change anything about the last play.
No.
Will Jared and Corey get along? I don't know, man. We'll find out. Like,
maybe we'll find out. I mean,
they're both from the Pittsburgh area. My understanding is they've known each other for a long time. What that means? Hell, guess what? There's people I've known for a long time. I don't like those people. There's people I've known for a long time that are still my best friends to this day. Like until they're, and one thing we know, and I mean, I've learned this many times over the years. Sometimes you've got a relationship with somebody that doesn't end up being a great working relationship if you work together.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have very, very good friends that we wouldn't want to work together, just because we wouldn't want anything to like the possibility of something happening that made us not be friends anymore.
But you don't know that until you start working with somebody.
No.
So some people it clicks and you work together swimmingly. Some people it doesn't and you struggle. So we don't know, man.
I think it would be ideal if that worked out.
Sure.
Assuming that Jared Calhoun is the coach. I mean,
yeah, I mean, there's
the search is not really much of a search right now. But
here's the thing I was talking about with somebody today, Dave. Like, just playing out scenarios. And I don't say this to panic everybody, but you know, when you're going through this process, from my perspective, you're trying to prepare for anything, right? What happens if they beat Arizona and go to the Sweet 16? And all of a sudden, he's got I think if you go through it, like, they're going to either be the number 1 or number 2 team, most popular pick to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
And this guy picks off Arizona, and now all of a sudden he's got, boy, the leverage shifts substantially then. Oh, you want to hire me? Well, price of poker just went up. I'm in the Sweet 16 and knocked off a number 1 seed. Like, I'm in the driver's seat now. I'm the captain now. Like, you don't know that until the situation plays out. He could lose to Villanova. I don't think that damages his stock really.
No, I think I've felt this way for a long time. I think tournament performance for coaches is incredibly overvalued. The mid-major that wins 2 games in the tournament that all of a sudden gets like a big job bump. I think going off of just a couple wins in a tournament format is a terrible way to judge whether a coach can go from the lower level to a high level. So I would put no credence in if they lost either. It's an 8-9 game. I mean,
right.
It's a less than 3-point spread. It's an 8-9 game. Like, if they lose to Villanova, I'm not going to be like, well, can't hire him now. You know, so
the thing is, it is a very attractive job, especially in this cycle.
Yeah,
the funding is there.
As we find out some things about other jobs, I think it's far and away the best job available.
Currently available, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the money is there, the funding is there. The fan base is there. The support is there. Like, the athletic director understands this is a place where basketball means something. Because if he didn't understand that, there was a very easy, I don't think it would have gone over well, but from his position, a very easy, we turned it around at the end of the year. We feel like this, you know, our faith and belief in Wes has turned the corner. We're excited for, you know, what next year brings, but it's a make or break year. He's got to make the NCAA tournament. He knows that. We know that. I mean, you could have, whatever. I don't think the fan base would have bought it, but it was right there for the taking. The AD clearly understands winning is an expectation here. And they didn't do enough of it.
My joke would have been, if you brought him back, you're closer to being Wake Forest than you are the teams you want to say you're competing with. You know, because Wake Forest brings back a coach that hasn't been at the tournament in 7 years.
Yeah.
So if you'd have done that, then that was my question. That would have been my question from last week: is what are your expectations?
Right.
You know, so
I mean, and it sounds like when that horn hit 0, it was. I don't think there was much deliberation.
That was worse than losing by 40 for the optics of do we keep a coach or do we not? If you just said if you didn't show anybody the previous 30-something games of the season and you said this coach was in a make or break situation to keep his job and you just showed him those last couple minutes and the overtime to some fan who didn't watch UC all year, they go, oh yeah, that dude's getting fired. That was a mess.
Yeah. I mean, and the reality was they almost blew it twice. They were up 8, and it got all the way down to 3 when Celestine hit a 3. Then they got a stop day. They got fouled. They pushed it back up to 8, and then they came back from that again. Like they almost blew it twice in the final 4 minutes. Do I think Schertz is waiting for Pitino to retire, being he's from Brooklyn?
If you're waiting for Rick Pitino to retire, you might be waiting a while.
Who said this was worse than losing to Nevada? Nobody said that, Tyler.
Nobody said that. I've never said that.
No, there's not one person that said that.
So
again, sorry.
Second round game in the Big 12 tournament versus you're a 2 seed 4 hours from home and you're up 21 with like 14 minutes to go.
And a chance to like a wide open path to the Final Four.
Yeah, no. Point me in the direction of anybody that said that this was worse than losing the Nevada game.
Tyler, again, things are bad enough as is. We don't have to make stuff up.
I don't think anybody is acting like, I mean, again, who's acting like it was worse? It was bad.
Wes's job was on the line, and that happened.
I didn't speak in the car ride home from Nashville to Cincinnati. I turned the game off the other day and just went about my day like nothing had happened.
Yeah. Berg and I left. We didn't even do the post game. We just looked at each other when it ended. We put our laptops in our backpacks, and we were like, "Going home?" Yep. And I take that back.
The only time I spoke was when I was looking at my phone, and I said to the car, "Well, at least Xavier lost 2." As we were driving back, because they were the 1 seed and lost to Florida State, and I was like, "I guess that's some level of solace."
I was supposed to charge my phone during the second half of the game, and I forgot. So literally, my phone was almost dead when we got in the car, and I didn't have a car charger with me. And so, basically, I just had to have my phone off, Dave, for a 4-hour car ride with Berg when neither of us were speaking.
Listen to some reggae music for 4 hours?
I don't even know what. I don't even. It was a blur. But at one point, I turned my phone on, and I got the notification that Xavier lost after being up 11 or whatever they were up, and it was like, well, okay, I guess I feel a little
at least the
better.
whole city will be miserable tonight.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, Xavier fans were in the building, ha, suck it, Bearcats, haha, you lost. And then it was like, okay, well, you're a 1 seed, and you did it too. So enjoy your 4.5-hour ride home.
Much later at night.
So yeah, I don't think anybody's acting like it was a worse loss than Nevada. It's just that in the current situation where the head coach needed to make the tournament to save his job or, be as close as humanly possible, the way that they lost sealed the deal. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think there could be any other decision after the way that went down like it went down, other than it's time to do something different. It's time to do something different.
Yeah, there's no guarantee that it'll be any better, but I knew what Wes was as a coach, and it wasn't good enough. So saying that you don't know if it'll be better is not a reason to keep doing the thing that you know isn't working.
If they do secure Jared Do you see the athletic department going all in on basketball and him with how football is going? No.
No.
You guys have to stop this like basketball v football thing. It doesn't exist. They need both to be good. You need football to be good because football drives the bus in college sports, in revenue, in essentially every key factor. You need basketball to be good because your particular fan base gives a shit about basketball at an immense level. You're a historic basketball program that has multiple championships and Final Fours. And yes, they've been a long time ago, but basketball means a lot to the fan base. So you got to be good at both. It's your job as the athletic director to figure out how to be good at both. There is no, we're all in on one and the other is kind of an afterthought. That's no, it's just not reality.
No, it's not, because like I said, I mean, the money is from football. It's very nice that we have a athletic department where there's large sections that really care about both. But point me in the, I mean, point me in the direction of all the basketball programs that are carrying the weight at the Power 4 level for their athletic departments.
UConn.
Okay, this is their football team, but their football team's not even in a conference.
I'm just, you asked the question.
I mean, that have football in a power league. Like, you can't even say Kentucky. The money is with Kentucky football.
Kansas, I guess.
That's probably pretty close to even. I wouldn't even say Kentucky, Gray Bush. Like, they're
spending a lot of money on football.
A lot
of money.
Will Stein is getting a ton of money right now.
Stoops got a ton of money.
I mean, the guy was making like $9 million a year.
I mean, if you remember, Stoops and Cal were taking shots at each other regularly, arguing over the money.
Bearcats by 90. Duke, maybe. Do you know that Darian Mensah 2 years ago, the quarterback transfer they got from or this year, I guess, this season, that they got from Tulane was the highest paid player in the portal?
Yeah.
This year, like, Duke paid more money than anybody else for a single player in the transfer portal. So, like, they're spending money.
I mean, Kentucky fired Stoops was there, 12 years?
Oh, he was there a while, yeah.
He was there a long ass time.
He had like the greatest job in college sports.
Yeah. Win 8 games and you're the king of Lexington.
But yeah, I mean, I like having to have these debates. That means we got a lot of people that care about both things. But it puts a lot of pressure on the athletic department to get things figured out. Yeah. Because both sides of the aisle, I mean, I know there's people like basketball more than football and vice versa. Like, we won't accept losing because we've won. You know, if you're going to tell me that a program, now the sport is so different, it's not even fair comparing it, but like, UC almost got rid of football and then 30 years later went to the college football playoff. We're not going backwards in football. No one will accept going backwards in football. Right. No one has the expectations that we're just going to go to the college football playoff all the time, but no one's going to accept going backwards in football. And the basketball program, everybody knows what the basketball program has been, and it hasn't been good enough. I put out the tweet on Sunday. 2,550 days, March 22nd, 2019, the last time UC played a game in the NCAA tournament in Columbus against Iowa. My kid wasn't even born yet. It's not acceptable. And they have
my wife was alive.
They have to pour every dollar into this program to get it figured out.
Yeah.
Or you are going to start, I mean, regardless of whether there's a new coach or not, you're going to start losing people. Everybody's going to be excited because you got a new coach, but you got to get it figured out.
If you get the right coach, because let's be honest, everybody right now, it's Jared Calhoun or bust.
Yes.
Like, what happens if that doesn't work out? I think, like, look, I've said this on the board. I've said it here on other shows. Everybody I talk to in the business thinks Jared Calhoun is the next coach at Cincinnati. Do they know? No, because there's still first off, like, they've got to get through whatever the separation agreement looks like for both sides. And if you pay attention to things today, it sounds like Wes is pretty involved or on the periphery with Charlotte to where he's actively looking for a job.
He's trying to get a job. Whether it becomes Charlotte, whether Charlotte comes to fruition or it ends up being something else. Yeah, he's not just going to take a year off. Or,
right.
He's trying very hard, clearly.
So he can't get a new job until he's officially not the coach at Cincinnati anymore. Cincinnati can't officially move on.
But that school would have to pay a buyout.
Yeah.
And they're not going to because everybody knows he's been fired.
Yeah.
So
both sides, UC wants a new coach. Wes wants to go coach somewhere else. I think maybe at first there was a little posturing around the ring as both sides kind of decided how this was going to play out. But as we get through this week, I genuinely do think Wes expects to get a job in this cycle. I would take a year off, bro. 9 figures in the bank. Like, you can find me on the beach somewhere for a little while. The question
is, as part of his mitigation, does he have to try to find a job?
You can try to find a job and not get one.
Well, in earnest.
You can try to find a job and not get one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that is a very high, it's not a very high standard to have to meet.
No, but we don't really see that where coaches are.
Because they're psycho and they want another job.
Well, yeah, and that's what he is. So.
I mean, again, if I got 9 figures in the bank and a chance to take a year off, I'll be in Tuscany, you'd find me all over. I'd be on one of those 280-day cruises.
I mean, at worst, he's on what? He's probably on Hubert Davis's staff next year.
Something
in some capacity,
or an analyst or whatever.
In some capacity,
you won't want to be an assistant. That's being a college basketball assistant is way too much work if you've got 9 figures in the bank.
After you've been a head coach and you're still in early 40s, maybe if you're 65, and you're
right. But I mean, there's incentive for them to figure this thing out clearly. So that usually once both sides are motivated, that usually means that things find a way to get done. Media usually counts as mitigation if he chose to go that route and take a year off coaching. Yeah. I think Wes would be good on TV. Take NBA assistant, take the Samson route. Well, that's a little different because Kelvin took that route because
Samson didn't do that by choice.
He was literally blacklisted from college basketball for a period of time. He did not want to be an NBA assistant. I can assure you of that. But yeah, I'd be out, man. Like you couldn't find me with a search warrant. He's doing what is legal now. That doesn't matter, Graybush. If you got a ticket for doing 100 and a 55, and 3 years later they changed it to, a 90-mile-an-hour speed limit, you still had to pay that ticket. The rules were the rules when he broke them. I always hated that argument, Dave. Yeah. Well, it's legal now. So? Wasn't legal then.
Legal when
he was breaking the rules. Yes, Tyler, we've been talking about Wes as a possible candidate for UNC Charlotte for 20 minutes now.
Yeah.
Did you hear it here as we've been talking about it for 20 minutes? What's happening, Dave?
We don't have to read the first part of this because I think that is blowing some serious smoke. But Thrifty Hippopotamus asks, do you panic bells go off? That is not a complete sentence by any structure.
He forgot an R. It's a, do your panic bells go off on the new coach if they don't go to the tourney in year 1 through 3?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be pretty lenient in year 1 because I don't have any clue who the roster is. I don't know the makeup of the Big 12 for next year. But yeah, I mean, you made a move, which we all agree with. And if it's another 3 years, yeah, I'm gonna say that didn't work.
Look, guys, it's been 3 years since they've been in the Big 12. It feels like 100.
If you go 6 years in the Big 12 without making the tournament, we can really stop talking about like how do they get into the
basketball program,
right? And how do they get into the top 6 of the conference?
Yeah,
like, yeah, you could that conversation can cease to exist if you claim to be a basketball program and you can't go to the tournament, which might expand. I mean, that's another thing we're not even talking about. You're a basketball school and you can't go to the tournament with 2 different coaches in 6 years in the best conference in the sport.
Not great, Bob. And that would be 10 years out of the NCAA. That would be a decade.
You'd also probably be looking for a new athletic director if that happened.
I'd be looking for a new job. How does it work? We know he's out, but if they wait until April 1st, the buyout goes down. Technically, yes. I can tell you this, Bearcats by 90. They're not waiting until April 1st. For the reasons that we've been talking about. Wes wants a job. The school that's going to want to hire Wes is not going to want to wait until April 1st. Wes doesn't want to wait until April 1st. Cincinnati doesn't want to wait until April 1st. There's a bunch of reasons on both sides to sit down, negotiate a settlement somewhere in between the buyout before it drops and the buyout after it drops, and everybody goes their happy way. Like I would be shocked if we don't hear something by next week, and maybe even sooner. Who knows? Because once you start to hear like Wes really coming up in other coaching searches, you know that like, okay, everybody wants to get this in the past. And look, it's probably smart for Wes, if we're honest, because Cincinnati will be able to say, we came to an agreement. Wes Miller is moving on. And then Wes Miller will be able to go get his new job. And there won't even really need to be a Wes Miller's fired. Like he's not going to have that loud, if you dig, you'll know what happened, but like, it's not going to be front and center on his resume. So there's reason for both to get this done. I hope the AD has a backup plan just in case. Greg, John Cunningham there's a lot of things you can say about John Cunningham. That he's not thorough is not on the list. Like, you can guarantee they're going through the process. They didn't just fire Wes. He sat down with his trusted advisors and said, Jared Calhoun, everybody went, yep. And they go, all right, we'll see you in a couple of days. Everybody take some time off. That's not how a coaching search works. They're definitely talking to people, potentially talking to candidates, talking to agents, doing their due diligence. Like that's just how this goes. Because like I said, what happens if Jared Calhoun beats Villanova, beats Arizona, makes it to the Sweet 16, and now all of a sudden his name is on fire as the hottest name in the country. And somebody above Cincinnati in the pecking order goes, ooh, wait a minute. Or what happens if that happens and Will Wade goes back to LSU, and now NC State sitting open. A lot of money, good Power 5 conference, winnable, and all of a sudden you're battling with them. So this is, even though here's the best way I can put it, I think, Dave. Everybody thinks this is the perfect match because in this bubble that we're in this situation, it is. But anything can happen between now and next Monday or Tuesday that changes. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Is LSU even open?
No.
Okay.
There's a lot of rumblings. That
I just was like, did I miss something that they opened or what?
I mean, no, but I mean, we'll see what happens. Yeah. Everybody thinks Will Wade is going to end up back at LSU. Him and the AD apparently at NC State are ready to kill each other.
I mean,
knowing Will Wade,
offer him a strong ass deal, and you could probably get it.
So yeah, they absolutely are setting it up as if it's a normal coaching search. They have to. It's their job. That's their position. Now, does everybody, I think, look at Jared Calhoun and say, man, this makes so much sense. He was here. He knows the culture. He was, with Huggins at West Virginia. He's from Ohio. There's just so many connections. He would be an easy sell to not only the fan base, but to the donors. It all makes sense. But just because it's the perfect situation today on March 18th doesn't mean it's going to be the perfect situation on March 23rd. So you have to prepare for anything that might possibly happen.
I mean,
then you go when he's available, you go try to get him.
I mean, that's the thing is part of the reason that you would, to me at least, you would have some sense of urgency to clean up whatever you need to clean up with Wes and get things going with whoever your top candidate is. Because like you mentioned, you don't know. Okay, here's one. Let's say Illinois beats Houston and Sampson retires.
Well, we do know there.
What?
We do know what happens in that.
Well, but let's just play it out that they don't hire Kellen. And it causes a ripple effect, so to speak. I mean, yes, that seems to be the 99, but I'm just using that as an example of.
Yeah, I know.
It's do we really honestly think that the tournament's going to play out and none of the teams that were playing in the tournament are going to change coaches? All right. The high major coaches in the tournament, okay, here's one. I've heard this rumor. I don't know if you have. I've heard this could be Rick Barnes last year.
Heard it could be Rick Barnes last year, Sampson's last year. There's been a lot of talk about Bill Self because of his health issues. I think he probably sticks around, but I mean, you never know.
If you saw that report about who operationally, now that doesn't include NIL dollars, operationally, who spent the most on their basketball program, Tennessee was number 2. Tennessee is a lot of things.
There were no buyouts.
They were not without cash. Yeah, they're not paying anybody not to coach. Rick Barnes has been there a long time.
They're not paying anybody to come in and coach. They weren't paying anybody to go away. That's just Tennessee spending a shit ton of money on basketball.
They are a lot of things. One of them is not without cash. So if that were to open, that's a huge job. Because there's nobody on staff that would take that job. Kim English would have been in the running for that job, but he is not.
It's almost like it's going to play out like I've been saying for months that it would. Weird. It's really weird, isn't it? If you go back over the past 3 months on this show, I'm not saying it's playing out exactly every step of the way like we said it would, but we've been pretty damn close, Dave.
Yeah.
Pretty damn close on how this it's almost like what we figure out this seven coaching searches.
I mean, a lot for 20-ish years.
Yeah,
A lot.
a lot.
A lot more than most schools.
I mean, I think it's probably since 2016 when I took over full time. That was Tuberville to Fickle, Fickle to Satterfield, Mick to Brandon, Brandon to Wes. Now that's 5 in 10 years.
Yeah,
it's a coaching search every other year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not seeing that too many places typically.
No. But yeah, this is what I do for a living, and we work very hard at it. Bearcats by 90.
Yeah,
you should join Bearcat Journal right now. You can get a full year of service for $35. That's 75% off. A full year of Bearcat Journal for only $35.
I will give you 10 full years of Bearcat Journal if North Carolina State hires a North Carolina guy who was unsuccessful
somewhere else.
His last stop.
LSU is the biggest scumbag school in history over the last 10 years minimum. Well, let me introduce you to Will Wade, who is, if not the biggest scumbag coach, probably the second biggest scumbag coach in the last 10 years minimum, at least in basketball.
Grew up as one of the best friends of one of my best friends in Nashville.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did they say he was a scumbag back then too?
No, he was not.
No?
Apparently not. I don't know.
Yeah. Did Thad Matta officially retire from Butler? I believe so. Yeah.
The oldest.
Everybody thought
the oldest looking 58-year-old on the face of the planet.
Fucking Gargamel, man.
Can't feel one of his feet. Looks like Gargamel. 58 years old.
You ever seen him in person? Like, I used to see him at AAU events all the time, and it's like,
I don't think I've been close enough to see him in person.
He looks, and this was like 7-8 years, like he looks rougher than you think he looks, and he looks rough. Probably best for Thad to just call it a career. Maybe it could be like he would probably. If you're looking to like revolutionize the GM spot, like Thad would be a good guy for that role, I think.
Yeah.
The guy's he's a good coach, good basketball mind. Just physically can't coach basketball anymore.
No.
The fact that Syracuse can't find a coach is amazing. Is it?
I think we're finding out that things have changed drastically in the last 20 years. And again, if your football team is not successful and you make a move to another conference on the backs of your football team, trying to elevate them, that has the trickle-down effect of hurting your basketball program. I don't know how much Syracuse basketball people that are listening to this have watched. No one is going to their games. And they have no cash.
Right.
Like, think about this, what I'm about to say, and try to put it in your mind 10, 15 years ago. A coach at South Florida might choose to stay at South Florida instead of going to Syracuse or Providence. That would have been like you'd be like, is your dad the president? And that's why you're not leaving? Like that sentence is an unfathomable sentence to think, and that might happen in the next week or so.
I mean, think about how bad Syracuse and Pitt screwed themselves because they got greedy. Like all they had to do was keep the Big East together, and everybody would have been fine because the Big East brand was so important. I know they were taking some shots in football, but like Big East football was still good. They didn't have a dominant program per se, but there's a lot of good football in that league.
They were kind of like what the Big 12 is now.
Yeah.
Crapshoot, teams can rise up quickly, can have a different conference championship every year. And but Louisville didn't cause the Big East to break up. Louisville just
reacted.
Was in a
Louisville
good spot
almost got screwed too.
Was in a good spot and was able to grab on to a life raft. But no, they didn't call. I mean, the president and AD of Pitt were the drivers of declining the ESPN contract.
And Syracuse. It was Pitt and Syracuse.
To give the conference a lot more money. They were the ones pushing not to accept it and then turncoated their ass right out of the conference.
I remember where I was at. We were in Oxford for a UC game the morning that broke for a noon UC game that Syracuse and Pitt were leaving for the ACC. And then it started to get out that the Pitt president was the one that was in charge of the committee that was doing the TV negotiation. They turned down the $1 billion deal, said they could do better. And in reality, they were negotiating with the ACC behind the Big East back. Like they legitimately.
I think it was like a 10, 12-year $1 billion deal.
Yeah. So reap what you sow. Syracuse, Butler, Providence. Who's the best job? Oh,
Providence?
Probably Providence.
Somehow. I mean, we seem silly not saying Syracuse, but it's just, it feels very, very bleak there. You're now in an antiquated arena, an arena that used to be awesome. I mean, when I lived up there, when I did the golf tournament that was at Oak Hill in Rochester, which is like an hour away from Syracuse, in 2008, Pepsi was a sponsor, and they gave us essentially courtside seats for a game against Nova. We weren't on the floor, but they were essentially courtside seats, like third, fifth row, something like that. It was awesome. I mean, to be in there with 20-something thousand people in a regular season college basketball game, so awesome.
Yeah.
And now, they're not even getting 5, 7, 10,000 people. Imagine how empty that place looks with 7,000, 8,000 people.
Right. What is
Football,
it? It's 80,000 seat?
No,
stadium?
No, not that big. Like in the 50s or 60s.
Okay.
80 would be like one of the biggest stadiums in the country. It's not that big.
I thought it would sat that many for football.
I'll do a quick Google search, but I don't think it's quite that big.
Maybe they could get that. Didn't they have like a NCAA tournament, like championship in there one year?
49,000.
Okay. For some reason, I remember like a huge number for some event there.
Now it's called the JMA Wireless Dome, which great name. Anyway, we're talking a lot of terrible ACC teams now. We've shifted up, but no, I mean I think this is why we're looking at why I'm hoping that we can get this, whoever the candidate is, get this thing wrapped up quickly, because right now you are the best job open.
Right.
You can't assume that's going to be the same thing a week from now. You just don't know. We could have retirement like we discussed. You could have a random, who knows what. I mean, wild stuff happens in the coaching world. So,
yeah.
Get it figured out. Go get your top candidate, and let's get this thing going.
You hope for, I think, best case scenario, if this is to happen with Jared Calhoun, they beat Villanova, they play Arizona.
No, just
a fairly close game.
Who cares?
Yeah, but I think it looks better if your guy wins a game.
I mean, he just won the regular season and tournament title. If he loses an 8-9 game, I don't care.
To the Big East. It looks bad because it's the Big East, Dave.
Well, he's in the Mountain West. You should be in the Mountain West.
The optics are, you win Friday, you lose a reasonable game on Saturday against one of the two best teams in the country, and then maybe have him on campus Monday. News gets out Tuesday, press conference Wednesday. Everybody's happy. If it goes a lot longer than that, I'm going to start getting nervous because that means there's a good chance that like the press conference happens while I'm in California.
Yeah.
And I don't want that.
I don't either, because you need to be there to start introducing yourself.
Is anybody tired of hearing Huggins and Steele being mentioned? That's why you strictly pay attention to BearcatJournal.com, where neither of those names have been mentioned once. I mean, yeah, I'll send Keegan, but I want to be there. Like, this is my business, Gray Bush. This is my livelihood. So, you know, it's all there for the taking, Dave. Which is not this is the first time since 89 that UC's really been in an advantageous position hiring a coach.
Yeah.
Just pretty wild if you think about it, because Huggins got fired in what, August, September? Like,
yeah, I mean, well,
right before the season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mick, because of a lot of factors that we've talked about on Bearcat Journal, didn't get the UCLA job until late. Brandon got fired late in the process. So you were never dealing from an advantageous position. The market had already been picked pretty much every time that a coach has been hired here, dating back to 1989 with Huggins. You're finally in that kind of driver's seat, catbird seat. So go make it happen. Where should I watch the tournament tomorrow? The Holy Grail, Remington Tavern, Hail Mary Sports Bar.
Yeah, any of our sponsors.
Any of our sponsors.
Yeah, Mick was officially hired April 9th. And Brandon was officially released May 3rd. Or no, wait. April 9th also.
Or April 9th also, yeah. It's those were not advantageous situations to be in. Now you're in an advantageous situation in a cycle where you are a premier job.
If they were a sponsor, I'd say the sports book at the casino is where I would, or anywhere where you can place a wager. I mean, I guess you could place a wager anywhere with your phone.
Yeah, you got your
phone. It's always more fun to do it in an actual sports book. I'm very much going to be in some depression tomorrow, knowing that I'm not in Reno for year 3 of the first and second.
What happened there? No job?
That's a big factor. It's kind of tough to say I'm going to go gamble, so, and my brother is he had work trips this week or last week and next week, so just didn't work out. But hopefully we will be back next year. Holy Grail has $15 buckets for 15 years.
5 beers, $15.
Or was that just that's all week, right? That wasn't just for St. Patrick's Day.
That's all week, yeah. That's all week. And
those are almost college prices.
Mo and Tony will be there.
Almost college prices. When I was in Knoxville a couple weeks ago, we went to not even a college bar, like an adjacent college bar. That's a restaurant, and it was 4 beers were $13. I was like, man, this feels like 2003 all over again, boys.
I remember 5 for $10 back in the day. But I'm old.
You're not that much older than me.
I mean, I'm going to turn 49 in 7 months.
5 years older.
That's a lot of years.
4 years older.
It's a lot of years.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think that's just the point. Is like things look like they're in a good spot for UC right now, but they have to take advantage of that.
Keep it up for a minute, Dave. I'll be right back.
The longer you let things play out, the more potential obstacles you allow to enter into the situation. So they have work to do. There are a lot of moving parts. There's not a lot of information out there, which doesn't make for great hot board updates. So I know fans are likely clicking and clicking and clicking and clicking, hopefully hoping to get some new news, but that is not what this search is right now.
I'll kind of disagree.
What's it? And with what part?
There's a lot of information out there.
Well, but a lot of information, but it's all pointing at one particular person. So
it's the same information.
So the update doesn't really update.
I'm talking to a lot of people.
They're all just saying the same thing.
They're all saying the same thing. And literally, when I say from every level of the sport, I mean every level of the sport. Athletic directors, former athletic directors, national championship coaches, Final Four coaches, all the way down to like assistants in mid-majors and, staffers across the country. Everybody points to it and says Cincinnati and Jared Calhoun makes too much sense. Yeah. And I think when you add in what happened at Kansas State, where, the signs that their people at least all thought like they've got Calhoun or they're zeroing in on Calhoun. And then the next day, Calhoun turns down the job. They hire Casey Alexander, and then Cincinnati comes open all within like a 2.5 day span. Like I think everybody just looked at that and went, that doesn't seem like coincidence.
There's a reason there. It's not
like that doesn't seem like happenstance, right? That all these things all kind of connected together.
I mean, I will, I'm loving the chat because it's all just about places to eat food, drink beers, and watch basketball. They are not a sponsor, but I will be and am always partial to Roosters. Great TV setup, and what I believe is some of the best, bar type food you can find. I will be at one of those locations on Friday. That is my spot to watch the games this week.
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about them while you're there Friday, let them know.
They're big Ohio State sponsors. They did sponsor some UC stuff when Luke was here. They had a $5 rebate on the back of the parking passes and did some stuff with the football program when Luke was here. I don't think that sponsorship is still in place.
3rd and Main for the tournament tomorrow. Boy, I'd love to go to 3rd and Main. I'm a big 3rd and Main guy. I will be in Kenwood because
doing radio. Mo will be at some sports book.
Well,
or is he Holy Grail tomorrow, or is he sports?
Yeah,
book?
they do Holy Grail 10 to noon, and then just kind of hang out there all day.
Yeah.
So I will be in Kenwood, talking about the tournament as the tournament is happening, which I hated at first, but there are worse things than sitting in a room with a bunch of TVs, getting paid to watch basketball and talk about it. There are worse things than that. I don't mind it.
Is it true the owner used to be the main guy at Ruby's? Which owner?
At 3rd and Main?
Oh, I don't know what establishment we're discussing.
Well, I mean, the main guy at Ruby's is
Jeff
Ruby.
Well, yeah, he's saying that. Yeah, I don't know. Roosters is two brothers. It was Roosters and Frickers up in Dayton, and they had a falling out, and one of them started Roosters, and the other one kept Frickers. And I don't think the food is like anywhere on the same planet.
The brother that left was the dominant brother.
Yeah, he has the restaurant that I think is quite good for that style of what you're getting.
The chef at 3rd and Main, I don't know. What I know is I put 3rd and Main up against Ruby's, legitimately. Like every time we've been down there in Aurora, Indiana, outstanding. outstanding. And
Aurora, Indiana is very far from the east side of Cincinnati.
it's about as far across from Cincinnati as you can possibly get from where you're at, Dave. But I will say this: their sides and appetizers are like way up there, and I'm a big sides guy. Like, yeah,
this podcast is going the food route.
We go the food route a lot,
and not the somewhat sketchy route of the BBP that happened Monday night. Two very different shows.
Very, very different shows. You got anything else?
Basketball wise?
Yeah, basketball wise, coaching wise.
I think we can talk like tournament stuff, but no, I mean, we've kind of said it. Like, this needs to move fairly quickly to stay in what I would consider to be the pole position and not allow other things to maybe interfere with that.
You got to box out, Dave. You box out.
I mean, my thing is like, let's just say Jared Calhoun's your guy. Go get it done.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I know that there's semantics of like you don't want to have it leak that he's going to be the coach before they even play or whatever. But like, if that's your person, go get your person.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do with Wes and his stuff that doesn't impede in who your next basketball coach is. Don't let someone retire. Don't let something goofy happen. Like, go make it happen.
Yep. Early next week. This needs, I think, you get through the first weekend of the tournament. I think you need to have this done. Hell, if they win, go get it done early next week. Like,
yeah.
Miami or SMU.
Well, SMU's been playing funky town with the injury report.
Well, they just lied to the NCAA. They didn't play fun. They just lied.
Yeah, straight up lied. I mean, I don't think Miami can guard them to save their lives,
right,
or rebound with their bigs. But if Miami somehow makes 15 threes, sure. But first round of the tournament, the balls are super inflated. The rims stink. Like, I think SMU will win.
Yeah. If it's not done by opening day, that's when I start to worry. I think that's fair.
What, 8 days from now? 9 days from now?
It's Thursday of next week. So
Thursday of next week.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I don't want to be going into the second weekend of the tournament without a coach.
They announced BJ Edwards was out like 5 hours ago.
Yeah, earlier today.
And that's when everybody was like, because the committee chair said we're putting SMU in because they're getting their guy back.
Yeah.
And that's because SMU said in an official release from the SMU Twitter account, BJ Edwards will be available for the NCAA tournament. That's some dirty pool.
Hey, he just aggravated whatever was injured.
Re-aggravated the ankle and
I mean, I'm pulling for Miami because the winner plays Tennessee and they got no chance against Tennessee's bigs and Nate Ahmed. So like, go ahead, win. I mean, maybe they beat Tennessee because they've been a very much Jekyll and Hyde team this year. But if there's a team that does not match up well with the Vols, it's someone with no interior presence whatsoever.
All right, let's get a timestamp in. Brought to you by Turtles Brew, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, gluten-free. It's 6% ABV. It's a bourbon-infused sweet tea. They have cherry lime, raspberry peach, orange, vanilla. There's more than 50 locations in Greater Cincinnati, over 100 around Ohio. All you got to do is go to turtlesbrew.com for information and the location nearest you. What tournament stuff you want to talk, Dave? What you got?
I don't know. You got any like we did a little bracket in our house tonight. Will's got a Duke Tennessee national championship game. It's a suspect.
I went through and just did it like without a whole lot of thinking.
I always do. I just go first thought. Like when I'm doing a bracket, bets are different. But like a bracket, I'm just first thought, who do I think is going to win?
I ended up with all 4 number ones, and I don't love that. Although I do think the 4
Why not?
number
That's
ones,
the way it's been for the last how many years? It's pretty much all 1s and 2s.
Yeah, I don't think Duke and Michigan have been playing the same since their injury issues.
No. But I look at Duke's bracket. I don't. Who are they playing that's matching up with Boozer?
Right.
I have Duke, Arizona, Florida, and Iowa State.
I think Illinois can make a run.
I think so too. I think that's a fun potential game with Illinois and Houston, very different styles. I don't think
this Houston team can stop Illinois.
I just think they relish that type of a matchup.
Number 2 offense.
Of like, oh yeah, you play good offense? Okay. We'll see.
Illinois' offense. I don't know how much people have watched Illinois offensively, but they are, when they're clicking, they are electric.
They have too many foreigners on their roster for me to pick.
Too many guys whose name ends in a consonant at the end of the alphabet.
And it's from a country that originally from a country that doesn't exist anymore. Used to be part of the Soviet Union. No, I mean, I'm very chalky in mine, but I guess I got Vandy in the Sweet 16. I'm not a Nebraska believer.
I'm not technically either. And boy, if you were trying to make an impression, Vandy's guards in the SEC tournament were electric.
Mm-hmm.
Electric.
St. John's over Kansas. They just don't shoot. I don't care who's injured for Duke. They don't shoot good enough to beat Duke.
Yeah. I agree.
Or well enough, I should say. Not good enough. That's poor English.
I think I've got Mick over Hurley.
I do too. Just because it's a bracket and I don't care. Like, just.
I mean, here's the thing.
If Bill Lou plays and Dent plays as good as he has been, I mean, they are very good. Xavier Booker's a bad matchup for UConn.
I mean, UConn struggled with St. John's, and they had a bunch of close games against Big East teams that I think they should have drilled.
Yep.
So I've got UCLA in the Sweet 16.
I think everybody's probably got USF now, which means Louisville will probably win.
Yeah, I had USF going into it, and then with the news that Michael Brown's out, everybody's jumping on USF. So I have
Santa Clara beating Kentucky. Just because I was like, I'll pick one.
Kentucky's so freaking weird to me because it feels like they've been terrible all year. When you look at their resume, they haven't been dominant by any stretch of the imagination. They've got a lot more good wins than
they had a really good I feel like it was like really good middle of January to middle of February. They had 2 wins over Tennessee where they came back from 10-point leads or deficits in the second half. Where that's the problem that Tennessee has been all year. The hardest one I think for me, just because of the injuries and stuff, was the Texas Tech Bama. I don't know.
I mean,
is Christian Anderson healthy? What's going on with Alabama's guard play now? Oh, I think you might be able to put Nate Oates over Will Wade, buddy. For sleaze
that's why I said Will Wade was number 2.
Oh, Nate Oates is number 1.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the biggest.
Had a dude with a weapon and a murder, and this year you got a guy with 2.5 pounds of weed in his house that says he just smokes.
I respect it.
Oh, I have lots of faith in Iowa State. They play good defense, and they have the best shooting forward in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, Mom Chilovic's stats, I'm sure you heard this. It blew me away because I didn't realize he was shooting this good. 4th in the country in 3-point shooting percentage on the most attempts.
Yeah.
That's insane.
He shoots 10 a game. Like, he is, but that worries me a little bit about them in the tournament. Because if he has a 1 for 8 night, they're in trouble.
Yeah, but like their road is Kentucky or Santa Clara, Tennessee or Vandy, which I don't like either of those teams against Iowa State.
Yeah. Their path is fine.
And then you're in the Elite Eight, and who the hell knows?
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, Dave, if Akron or Hofstra win.
I guess I'm not, but like
I'm not picking them, but I'm saying that like it wouldn't shock me.
The reason I would be kind of surprised is that they're playing two high-powered offensive teams. You usually see those upsets when the team is like really good defensively, but maybe not that good. Like, can they really go shot for shot with Bama and Texas Tech?
What if Texas Tech's ice cold like we've seen them? The last 3 or 4 games, they have not shot it well. If Anderson's 2 of 7 from 3, they're beatable. And I love Tech.
I'm not saying they're not beatable, but the way that you see that happen is not typically like the high-powered offenses. The mid-major hangs with them and wins a game 85-82, you know?
Agreed. But how high-powered is Tech without Toppin?
Yeah.
If they can't make threes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Anderson's health is clearly the I mean, if he's limited at all, like, I mean, you're two of the 5 best players in the Big 12 aren't playing. Yeah, you might struggle.
Agreed. And Alabama without Holloway, I mean, they've got enough offense that they should be fine without him until it starts to get a little later in the tournament, and then
I have Gonzaga in the Elite Eight. That might be like a little bit of a surprise. I'm never gonna be a Matt Painter Purdue believer, like never. No matter what, I'll never believe that they're that good.
You know, I might be crazy, and I probably am. They could lose to Texas very much. I think BYU can make a run in that. Like, they've got the second best player in the tournament, maybe the third best player in the tournament. I think the second best player in the tournament is, if you want a team that might be able to make a run.
Who's that?
Arkansas.
Well, yeah, I would say he's the best player. I mean, who's playing better than him right now?
Boozer.
I don't know. I mean, at this very moment, I think Acuff is playing better than anybody.
That's fine. Like, I'm not going to argue with that.
Yeah.
Like, if you're talking who could be Kemba
I have
Walker,
Arkansas, Arizona would be an awesome game.
Yeah.
I have Arizona beating them, but like that would be a fun game.
Arkansas, Wisconsin, sneaky. Wisconsin's guards are really good.
Oh yeah. I mean, the way I have it, you'd have some pretty fun Sweet 16 games of like.
I think the round of 32, if things hold up tomorrow and Friday, could be incredible.
I mean, I hope they do, because I hate upsets.
And just look at the East. You could have Duke, Ohio State, say what you will about the first 2/3 of the season. Down the stretch, they were really good. And Thornton was awesome down the stretch.
I know it's because of years played, but like, you realize he's the second leading scorer in Ohio State history.
Yeah, 2,000 points.
This is crazy to me. Like,
then potentially St. John's, Kansas, Louisville, Michigan State, and then UCLA, UConn, just in the East.
Yeah.
Just in the East.
I don't like upset. I want to see the best teams play each other. I mean, the upsets are fun in the first round and everybody gets excited, but like after that, I want to see the best teams play each other. I've watched you play great for 30-something games. I want to see you play each other in whatever it is, the second round, the Sweet 16, the Elite Eight. Like, I'm not interested in the double-digit seed going to the Elite Eight. Sorry.
I think Gonzaga, BYU could be really fun. I think Arkansas, Wisconsin could be really fun.
Oh, yeah, because Graham Ike for Gonzaga, who like the way BYU's bigs have played for the back half of the season. Like, good luck with him.
Is Huff out for the year for Gonzaga?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I picked them to beat BYU just because the Vance is awesome, but like they've just been, I don't know. They just have not had the same juice since Richie Saunders went out.
I agree. I think they figured it out. They played better in the Big 12 tournament. Like it looked like they finally started to figure out. Still sidelined, currently sidelined with a knee injury. That's big. I mean, I think that's big for Gonzaga, even though Ike's excellent. I've got Arizona winning it all.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, if I were SMU, I'd quit letting Miami just fire wide open threes at the rim.
We need a Michigan State. The Simone household needs a Michigan State Final Four.
Needs?
Well, yeah, because with it being in Indy, we'd probably go, and I feel like they have a much better chance of making it than Tennessee, even though their region I feel like is much harder. I think they're playing way better and are better than UT. Like UT can very easily lose in the first round. That's how bad they've played of late.
I have Michigan State in my Final Four. I have them beating Duke in the Elite Eight.
Interesting.
I love Cohen Carr and I love Kerr Tang. Those two guys I love.
Man, that would have been if Caleb Foster didn't get hurt. That would have been a great matchup. Caleb Foster, Jeremy Fears.
Until Fears kicked him in the nuts.
Yeah, it's all right. I want that. I like having those guys on my team.
That's tough for me because I'm pretty anti nut kicking. Like it's why I hate Chris Paul.
But he's an equal opportunity like tripper nut kicker. Like he don't care who you are. He's just going to do it.
Yeah, don't leave the nuts out of it. Like you want to play dirty, fine, but don't go hitting unexpecting people in the nuts.
I feel like he's more of a sticking the leg out guy.
Yeah.
Chris Paul was very much a like cheap shot guy.
Chris Paul was just waiting to hit you in the nuts.
What do we think about Florida's guards? Because their bigs are freaking unstoppable.
Yeah.
I mean, they got three dudes that are just like, how are you stopping that?
I think they've gotten better as the season has gone on. But I don't love them. I've never been a big Boogie Flan guy. Xavier Lee has kind of stepped up more of late. Yeah, I'd love to see what would be so fun would be Michigan, Florida. Those two front courts just hammering each other.
Oh, yeah.
Are you frozen?
No, I'm good.
You just didn't blink for a little while. I was worried about you.
Blink if you're alive.
Dave, are you alive? Blink. We thought Cincinnati shot a lot of threes. Cincinnati did not shoot a lot of threes this year.
Yeah, they shot a lot of threes, and it's 12-11 halfway through the first half.
There goes another one.
The teams are combined 2 for 17 or 2 for 16 from three. So I was saying, overinflated basketballs and tight rims.
That's why I'm worried about Texas Tech.
I thought that over/under was a bad number in this game.
How high was it?
161.5.
It's both teams in the 80s, or right around 80.
Yeah, I just felt like the situation. Miami was going to be so juiced, right?
Yeah.
Like overly juiced. SMU's without their best player. Just felt like this was going to be. No, it still could get hot, but I mean, halfway through the first half, and you got
25
low 20s.
points.
Yeah.
25 points halfway through the first half. Not great. Who do you got winning it?
Arizona.
I got me too. I think they're just
they
the
might
best.
not, but like they've played the best all year.
Yeah.
They beat all the good teams they've played. I mean, almost all of them. I know they have a couple of losses, but like they played a great non-conference schedule. They went through the Big 12. They won the regular season. They won the tournament. If they don't win, it's because, they don't win, and the format to crown a national championship can be a little wonky with the bracket and everything, but like they're the best team. They're of the best teams, they're the healthiest. With Pete back, like
they had the only 2 losses all season: a 4-point loss at Kansas, Big Monday in the Fog, and then they followed that up with a 3-point loss at Tech while Toppin was still healthy.
Yeah,
they're 17th in scoring per game. They're 42nd in rebounds per game. I mean, the only thing that you can, I think, realistically get hung up with on them is they don't shoot a lot of threes.
Right, but they're not bad at it.
No, they make threes at a good clip. But if they get into one of those games where the opponent is hot,
so they just start shooting more.
Yeah, but it's not how their offense functions.
I know. It's easier said than done, but
just not who they are. Not they're a drive, get fouled, drive and finish, drive and dump off type team, and not necessarily a drive and kick and spray the ball to 3-point shooters.
No.
And I guess the legitimate thing that's also to worry about with them, there are 2 freshmen in significant roles.
Yeah.
In Burries and Pete. Now,
I don't know. I mean, do we think that that's as big of a deal as it used to be, though? Like everybody that's really good has freshmen in significant roles.
I think it depends on the freshman, and I think those 2 guys don't seem to be very high or low, right?
They're both lottery picks.
They're both, but you can be a lottery pick and be inconsistent or be a guy that lets your emotions get the best of you. I don't get that feel from either of those guys. They played in a lot of big games. It didn't feel like the moment was too big for either of those guys.
No, it wasn't an issue of them disappearing in big games and veteran players picking up the slack, so to speak.
I just like that they've got, now that Del Orso's playing well, they've got 6 guys offensively that really can, at any time, get you 17, 20, 22 points. And, that covers up some of...
The one Euro is kind of their glue guy.
Yeah. But, I mean, you've got 2 guys on the bench in Awaka and Del Orso that can get you 20 on any given night. How many other teams in the country have 2 bench guys that can give you 20 regularly?
I know at least one team that didn't.
Are they in the tournament?
No, they aren't.
Oh, okay.
That's probably why. among other reasons.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, very few. I mean, very, very, very few again, if any. I mean,
I think they're the most night in, night out. They're the team most constructed to win.
I think they're the team that has the least questions.
Yeah.
About them.
That's what I mean. They're constructed to win 6 games. If you told me Arizona won 6 in a row, I go, yeah, that's what they do.
There's not really a style that they you want to run with them, they'll run. If you really want to slow it down, okay, we'll slow it down. We'll draw fouls. We'll, there's not a kryptonite type style that.
I love that there's very little gimmick to their defense. We're going to guard you straight up. And we're going to make you shoot tough shots over the top of us all night.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if Tommy Lloyd can do it. I'm fading Houston at some point. I'm trying to figure out exactly when I think the best point of win.
Yeah, I think I could totally see them. I mean, honestly, If Texas A&M beats St. Mary's, I feel like that's kind of a bad matchup for Houston.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have the size. They play super fast. And that could be a problem. And then Illinois, very, somewhat, I won't say very similar, but, another style that is counter to what they like to do. And then Florida, if they were to go to the Elite Eight, potentially Florida.
Crazy enough, Houston doesn't have the bigs to hang with Florida.
No.
Over under 147 right now on MGM.
So we're down 14 points already.
Miami's up 20-13 at the under 8.
I'm waiting until halftime. Like,
okay.
20-13. So we're at 33 and how much time we got left?
I think they're at the under 8.
I always play it out in my head of like, okay, what do I need? So you need 147, so you need 148 to hit the over. They're at 33 total.
Yeah.
So you got 114 points left to push. I might go over now.
You think it's one of those, like they figure it out in the second half and both teams put up like upper 30s, low 40s?
I don't know. I mean, that would mean that in the last 27 minutes of the game, SMU has to score 60 points-ish. That's why I kind of like would wait a little bit longer. Like I don't think it's going to drop that much more.
Yeah.
It's already dropped 14. It's hard to believe that it'll drop that much more. I still maybe like the under. I would give it a little bit more time. Because clearly both teams are just going to keep shooting threes. So the problem is you are.
How is SMU shooting threes? You've got so much of a size advantage on Miami.
So the problem is if you're just going to keep chucking threes, then we know Miami is. But if SMU is going to, then you're like one 4-minute segment away from like 20-something, 30 points.
Yeah.
Because what if the teams each make 4 or 5 threes in a 4-minute stretch?
Yep. Do you want to do a little football or you want to save it for next week? I've only seen one practice. I'll give a.
Mean, there's what am I gonna? I can't. There's no questions I can ask you really. I mean, I can't weigh in.
There's no question I can answer because I was there once.
Yeah.
And the only thing I was doing was dealing with the buzz that Wes is going to be fired in the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I still stopped and got a sandwich on the way home. The back end of the defense, I don't know if they're going to be good, but they look much bigger and much more physical. Like the jump at corner from two guys that were 5'9" to everybody being 6 foot, 6'1", 180, 185. Like it is just to the eye significantly different. Because remember, I don't know who the hell anybody is at this point. So I'm just like, who's for? Ooh, is that one of the safeties? Nope, that's a corner. Is that one of the safeties? Nope, that's a corner. Okay, like this looks, at least physically, I don't know if they can play yet. I don't have an opinion if they can play yet or not. But I can tell you physically, it looks much different.
Right.
And I think that was necessary.
Yeah.
What I can't tell you, they had 5 picks on Friday. But the word was they only had 1 on Monday and Wednesday combined. So I can't be like, oh, well, they're ball hawking or the quarterbacks look like crap because I didn't see Monday and Wednesday. But the reality is They had one in 2 days, and then they came in bunches a little bit on Friday. So we'll monitor that when we come back.
I mean, that's kind of how turnovers work, though. I mean,
right.
You know.
Yeah. But I don't really have a whole lot else on football. That's something that as we get back into the swing of things next week, then 2 weeks from now, you'll probably be with Keegan because I'll be on
vacation.
I'll be somewhere on Venice Beach having a beer.
Yeah, I'm not sure what our spring break plans are still kind of up in the air. So,
all right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up then. I don't really have anything else to get to. Do you? Do you want to talk about Xavier fans going to Dayton last night?
I mean, not in particularly, other than I just think it's weird. I said to Rachel what you and I were talking about today. If I came home from whatever yesterday and was like, "Hey, honey, I'm not going to be home for dinner tonight." Oh, really? Why? I'm driving up to UD Arena to see the Texas North Carolina State game so I can heckle and get thrown out of the game. Heckle the coach that used to coach at my team and get thrown out of the game. She'd be like, "Yeah, we'd probably be filing for divorce."
I told you that.
Super weird.
Right. Super weird. Like, super weird. And they were very proud of themselves that they were there.
You and I both. I mean, I enjoy shit talking. I enjoy some hating. But I don't really understand. I mean, I had to ask you today, why do they hate Sean Miller? I really didn't know.
Because he left them twice, Dave. Like, he told him he was going to love him this time. It's like, you got cheated on. And then a couple of years later, like, they came back and you got back together.
Did they want...
Then they cheated on you again.
Did they want the truth?
No, they don't. They definitely don't want the truth.
I mean, the truth is he came back because it was the job he knew he could get. And then he told them all those things because how else do you think he was going to raise dollars to pay for a roster?
Right.
If he had told them the truth and said, "Yeah, I came back because this was the best job that I could get.
I needed to rehab my image, and this is the best way to do it.
I'm going to leave as soon as I can," then no one would have donated any dollars to help his basketball program. And like, because I was very confused. Like, were they mad that he went to Texas? I'm like, you thought he wasn't, like, a coach wouldn't leave for a plum SEC job with tons of resources? And then of course they dig up my LinkedIn account that shows that I attended Xavier, and I'm like, is that some flex? Like, yeah, I have a master's from Xavier. Like, who cares? I got it in 2006. UC didn't have a sports administration program yet. Like, there weren't a ton of options in the Greater Cincinnati area.
You got your master's from Xavier, Dave, so you must be a Xavier fan.
Have to be. Yeah. Like, great.
There's something.
You found me, guys. Like, good job. Whatever.
I mean, I kind of respect the level of, like, trolling. Like, I love a good troll, but, like, that's time and money. Like, if I troll, I'm just going to sit here
a good troll, though, on, like, a deeper level, when you really break it down, is a weirdo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you spent money and drove roughly an hour, give or take.
Yeah.
To a game that started at 9-something on a Tuesday night to heckle your former coach, and some of them got thrown out of the arena. Like, when you came home, you say you were married, you're like, "Oh, honey, it was a great night. I got thrown out. It went even better than I expected." I
was such an asshole. All night they kicked me out.
You paid money. You drove up there with the intention of getting thrown out, and you accomplished your goal, and we're proud of that. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Basically describing sociopath serial killer vibes. They're just a weird bunch. They're weird. They're weird.
Yeah, I said what I said on the Twitter and then didn't look at it again because I know that bothers people, not just Xavier people, but just in general. It bothers people when someone doesn't respond because they're ready to respond to that response. Like they have their whole attack already planned out. And so I don't even look. I don't care. I said my joke and that was that. So
Miami up 8 with 5:12 left in the half. 28-20.
Yeah, so like SMU's definitely not getting to 40. Miami might. So that's less than 80. Yeah, I think that secondary over-under is still kind of a sketchy number. It's definitely going, I mean, unless there's overtimes, I can't imagine it doesn't go under the 161.
Yeah.
But the one, I think somebody said it even went down to 145 at one point. That could be in a little bit of trouble.
Agreed. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
We'll,
and the guy won. So even the topper is that his team won. And
you spent 2 hours in the car. You spent $30 to get in, probably $30 for dinner, a couple drinks.
Yeah.
And you got to watch the guy you went to heckle's team won on a walk-off jumper buzzer beater.
Great night. Success.
And then for some reason he did horns down.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either.
He did the X and he did horns down.
Okay, here's one thing about the actual game. How did his assistant not get teed up?
I mean, he sprinted onto the floor.
The ball wasn't even in the basket yet, and he was one step away from the paint.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like it was a total walk-off. There was like a second left. The dude is practically in the paint. The ball is not even in the basket yet. Like, fully through the basket. How is that not a technical?
It should have been a technical.
And I'm usually not on the side of, like, I can't believe that wasn't a technical. We lost the game because, but like, how was that not a T?
Right. It's lame, however you slice it. It is. Going up there to yell at Sean Miller. It's weird. Anyhow. All right. That's going to wrap it up. We'll be back here next week. It is the BCJ Podcast brought to you by the Holy Grail right here on BearcatJournal.com.